Hello and welcome to Fun Problems, the problems of fun. I'm Peter C. Hayward.
I'm AJ Brandon.
And I'm JT Smith.
A special guest. What? A third acronym? It's like Acronym City in here. It's crazy.
Weird.
I guess a second acronym. I'm not an acronym. I just have a normal name. You guys would understand what that's like. It's pretty great. JT, who are you? What's happening? What's going on? How'd you invade our podcast? Tell us about you. Tell us about why you're here. I'm giving you. Actually, no. First of all, let me do a little announcement that I have. This is a very exciting announcement for everyone. I have construction in the background, so I'm actually going to be muted for a lot of this. So you'll get to look at my pretty face, but I'm going to be talking much less than I normally do, because at any moment a jackhammer could start going, and I don't want that to disrupt the podcast. So I'm going to go on mute. AJ and JT, or AJT as I commonly refer to you, let's take it away.
Very good. So yes, I'm JT Smith. I own the Game Crafter, among other things, but the reason I'm here today is to talk about Component.Studio, because I happen to know the Fun Problems podcast really seems to enjoy Component.Studio, and so I've got some news, which is that Component.Studio 3 is about to premiere. And I thought maybe we'd chat a little bit about, why I built version 3, when it's going to be available, what's new, all of that kind of stuff.
I should mention this is not sponsored content. JT has sponsored the podcast in the past. We did a YouTube tutorial or something. I can't remember, but we've had a financial arrangement. So full disclosure, that has happened in the past. That's not what's happening here. AJ and I just live on Component.Studio, so we are like, I don't know anything about Component.Studio 3. I said I was going to talk, and here I am doing the Santa Peter thing. But I am.
AJ's so surprised.
I am very excited to learn about this because I know nothing about Component.Studio 3 because I've been nonstop. So this is not a sponsored thing. This is just JT being like, "Hey, can I explain it to you?" And we were like, "Well, why not do it on the podcast?"
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, let's make it a sponsored thing. The Fun Problems coupon code, it still works. So you can get 50% off for 3 months. If you use the Fun Problems, you just use Fun Problems as the code when you sign up. So anyway, moving on. So yeah, Component.Studio 3. I mean, I don't know where we should start. I guess start with why I did it, and then we can move into, what's new and all that kind of stuff. I can show you some things. The big thing was that Component.Studio 2 was my first foray into building an application that is entirely web-based, like it's JavaScript web-based kind of thing. It was the first time I had done it. Most of the time I'm using back-end technologies to build like the Game Crafter and things like that. So this was purely a front-end kind of like an Adobe Illustrator kind of thing, right? Like you're trying to build a desktop app for people. I had never done that before. And so I made a lot of mistakes along the way, and a whole lot of new technologies came out after I built it. So I was like, I can do this so much better if I just start over and build a new thing. So that's why I did it. And you guys are going to get to reap the rewards of all of that. And so am I, honestly. Like, it's a greedy thing for me. Like, it's not about making money. It's about, like, I need this tool because I'm a game designer and I love designing games. So I try to make the best tool for myself. And along the way, I take in everybody else's ideas so that I can make the best idea or the best tool for everybody if I can. So anyway, that's why I went into Component.Studio 3. And let me share my screen here. Let's see, share screen and screen.
I will say JT has been very, very responsive. There's a little feedback button that you can hit, and you can make requests, and, not literally 9 times out of 10, but in my experience, 9 times out of 10, they will be implemented. It's starting, so I'm going to mute again.
There we go.
Yeah, there is a great feedback session. It's not session. There's a great feedback application where you can submit stuff, and JT will eventually, hopefully, either implement it or explain why it can't be implemented. And some of this, I know Jeff Fraser, a friend of the podcast, submitted one that made my life substantially better. So it's a really great community tool in that regard. Okay,
thank you.
Component.Studio 3.
All right, can you see my screen now? We're at that place. Okay,
good.
Cool. So yeah, we do have an idea system built into the whole site. Plus, we have our subreddit and our Discord channel and our Facebook group. So like people post ideas all the time. And if I see an idea that I think I can do and it's going to be good for everybody, I do try to implement that stuff. Although I haven't been recently because I've been mostly focused on building Component Studio 3 rather than adding features to Component Studio 2. But now that 3 is getting done, I'll have a lot more time to work on adding even more features to 3. So the first thing is, obviously, you got a new homepage. No big deal there. One of the things that people had been telling me is that they have a hard time getting started with Component Studio. Like, what do I do? You know, how do I get my game going? And so one of the things that I've added into Component Studio 3 is this starter system. And the beauty of this is, I've created a few different starters. I've hired some artists, some illustrators to make some, and I'll be making a whole lot more. But you guys can make these and publish them out to the site so that people can have other starters to start their games with. So in this case, with these, I got a couple utility things down here. Like there's just a standard deck of playing cards because a lot of games, you start with a deck of cards and you modify it from something. I also have this thing to do a secret message encoder, so it shows you how to literally make one of those things. So there's some utility stuff. But there's also like a lot of these kind of just starter templates of, here's what your game design looks like, and you plop in something. So I'm just going to create one of these quick. Let's do this. And I can either bring this into an existing game I already have, or I can start a new game with it. So I'm just going to start a new game. It'll go ahead and create that. And then I can open that up. And I've got a game with a design already in it, with a data set already in it, with some images already uploaded and, fonts imported, the whole thing, basically.
So as a Component Studio Power user, I'm going to touch on something you've not even mentioned here, which is clicking these little side links doesn't necessitate a full reload of the page.
Yeah.
That is literally going to save me hours. Like, not even exaggerating, that is literally going to save me hours per month. Just
so you've already noticed a headlining feature of speed.
Yeah, what do you say when we were
feature that you
talking
mentioned
100 times faster?
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. The templating feature you mentioned, I'm going to use that just like 90% of my prototypes are very ugly, but they use the exact same layout because I'm just doing text on cards. I'm going to use that just to make my ugly prototypes. Like I spend so much time being like, create this thing, move it here, create this, move it here. And so I'm going to be able to skip all that. I'm immediately very excited.
And you don't have to publish those. So I said, you can create these and publish them publicly, but you can actually, here's the cool thing. This is another thing that's new in CS3. You can actually just clone an existing design. So if you already have one that's got, your stuff set up in it, you can literally just clone an existing game and it will literally go through and copy every single thing that's in that game into a new game so that you can start from, something that you already had. So you could set up your own private starters without publicly publishing
Amazing.
them.
Yeah.
So
there are like 5 things that I just do at the start. One is make a new style, which is like 100 times larger than the standard file because I use that. So like, yes, this is all immediately like worth the. I was going to say the upgrade. It's the same price. it's immediately like for me, JT. It's paid for your hours.
Well, great. I'm glad.
So right when you said if there's anything that you guys wish that you could change from Component Studio 2 to 3, immediately I was like, all right, I'll start typing out some notes. And so far I've crossed off 3 notes. Please carry on.
Well, that's a good thing. I'm actually going to show you, let me see here. I'm going to open up Component Studio 2 and go in here and I'm going to find this game, What Could Go Wrong. This is a game I was working on earlier this year, and I kind of haven't done anything with it because I'm busy on Component Studio 3. But anyway, so I just wanted to load this because you can see kind of how long it's taking to load in images and stuff. It's taking 10, 15, 20 seconds, whatever it is, to bring that up, right? Now, if I take over here and I go into this game was imported. So that's one of the things. Component Studio 3 is going to directly migrate all of your games. We'll do that sometime in December. But if you wanted to migrate one right now, just like something you're actively working on, you can just give me the URL and I'll migrate it for you so you can see what it looks like in Component Studio 3. But anyway, Boom. You just saw me load. Did you see the difference in speed?
I did.
So yeah, I mean, you can see there's a couple changes to the card layout from one to the other because I have made a couple changes recently as I've been testing. But yeah, like it's literally a matter of a second or two to load an entirely new design. And whereas before, depending on the amount of content that you had in there, it could take minutes to load a new design because there's just so much stuff. I know a few people, I don't know why they do this, but there's a few people that have literally hundreds of fonts and thousands of images in their single game. And, that in the old system would take a very long time to load. In the new system, it goes really fast. On the tin, so to speak, I say that Component.Studio is 100 times faster. CS3 is 100 times faster than CS2, which is kind of a bullshit number because it really depends on, what content you have in your game, obviously, what the configurations are. But in every single case, it is faster for every single thing that you will do. I actually literally do have several examples I could show you that are literally 100 times faster. So it's not entirely bullshit, but it really is. It is dependent on obviously what you're loading. If you're loading a blank design, Component.Studio 2 is going to be pretty fast too. So anyway.
Okay. While we're talking speed, can you show us an export? Because that's where I also lose a lot of time. I don't know if that's any faster.
Sure.
If I put you on the spot and you're like, no, it's the same.
No, it's a lot faster actually. Should we do Component.Studio 2 first, and then you can see Component.Studio 3?
Well, we don't want it to be a 2-hour podcast, so maybe we should.
All right, I'll just start doing a Component.Studio 2 export, so you can kind of start seeing it. Let's just do like a print and play kind of thing, and we'll start this export.
And just the print and play is the faster of the two.
I'm sorry?
If you're just doing print and play, I find it's faster than if you're doing it for TTS.
In CS2?
Yeah.
That could be true. I'm not sure. I don't know if I've measured print and plays versus
we might have used
TTS.
your app more than you, JT.
Yeah. Well, I don't actually. So print and play is a feature that I added for users. I don't ever actually make print and plays, and also
really?
Tabletop Simulator export is a feature I made because users asked for it. I don't ever use Tabletop Simulator either.
If you didn't have those two features, we would not be here talking right now. Like the fact that you can export for either TTS or print and play is the reason I recommend Component.Studio. And this is a good example of what I was saying about like JT really does listen to user feedback and implement it, even when for reasons that are bewildering to me, he doesn't actually implement those features himself.
Yeah, so I do this all the time. So obviously, I don't know what that means to use Tabletop Simulator. Like I've used it a little bit so that I could test the feature, the export feature, but whatever. So anytime somebody says, "Hey, add this extra thing for Tabletop Simulator," let's say, I literally have to go in and learn what that means because I don't know. I don't ever use it. Anyway, okay. So you can see kind of the speed here. We've been going for, I don't even know. I should have timed it, I suppose. But let's say we've been going a minute or something, and we're not done with this. So I'm going to cancel this, and then we're going to come over here, and we're going to go to we're going to do, not Tabletop Simulator, the print and play thing. So we're going to do a similar export right here, and you can kind of see that already the images are going way, way faster through. You're like before you were seeing a new image every, 5 seconds or something. And now you're seeing a new one every second or two, something like that. So it's considerably faster. And then it also, once it actually gets to the PDF generation part at the end here, you're going to see that part is really fast too, because we're no longer in CS3 or in CS2, you were uploading it to a server and then the server did the processing of the PDF. Here, it generates the PDF locally on your computer, so you don't actually have the upload and download time going back and forth. So this will be done, boom, right there.
Damn. Does this still have to be the focus tab? Because I spend a lot of time like moving tabs to other windows. I don't know if that's changed or not.
That hasn't changed, and the reason for that is that simply I can't do anything about it. The deal is that browsers, in order to provide extra performance, whatever, basically will stop rendering if it's in the background. So the browsers will slow down. Like they'll keep playing audio, but if you can't actually see any of the visuals, they won't continue rendering the visuals. Just to, be faster, basically. And so, therefore, that's why you have to do this. Since it's a browser-based application, it has to be in the foreground, at least partially. Now, you can do a little trick where you do something like, let's see here. Do something like this, where you can kind of see it in the background, and then it'll still do it, right? Like you have this one up here, and it's still rendering in the background here. So let me close this and start this export again.
I do that every single time, by the way.
Yeah, I have 4 monitors, so I'll just grab the tab and just shift it off to the side like 4 times, like one for everything I'm exporting.
Yeah, so you can see obviously it's still rendering there, but yeah, it has to at least be displaying some part of the visuals. Otherwise, the browser literally shuts down the visuals, and that's why you can't export without it being in the foreground to some extent.
It is so much faster though. That's remarkable.
Yeah. It's like I said, pretty much every single thing you can do in Component.Studio is faster in CS3 to some level, like literally everything.
Okay, let's dive into the bugbear of my CS experience, which is the spreadsheet or the data set.
Okay.
This is where I think twice I pasted something slightly wrong and I lost a game, or I lost a bunch of data and had to start again. So I just want to see the differences.
Okay. Oops, I should have gone into data sets. So this is that thing we imported before, the Regal design. So it only has one row of data, but like I could copy this row, for example, and paste it in here again. What is that going on? So that's a mistake already. Something happened there. I'll look that up later.
Beta, right?
This is currently in beta, yep. The funny thing is I have actually done this test multiple times in the past, and I don't know why that just failed. Let me try this again.
Watching.
Why is this saying... I don't know what's going... Oh, wait! This is the... I just realized what happened. I just pasted data from a different thing I was working on before that was still in my clipboard. So this is a number field, but I pasted text into it because it's not actually, so if I click here, you can see that this is, I didn't actually copy the row that was already here. I pasted a row from a different spreadsheet that was already in my clipboard before we even got into this conversation.
It looks like you pasted the same cell into every single cell.
Yep, that's exactly what I did. So I'm just going to do this. What's that?
Does Control Z work on this?
I have not implemented Control Z, as you say, but we do have. I could go in and actually, put in the old values, that sort of stuff. So I have the history of everything that's ever.
I've never seen this before.
Nope. History's been in Component.Studio 2 as well, but see, you can see every value. Every value that's ever been in any cell. Well, actually, it's only the last 10 values, because if I stored every value, it'd get slow really fast. Sure. But the last 10 values that have been in every cell, you can actually see this. Yeah.
Wow.
Control Z, I do want to implement. That one's trickier, though, because there's so many crazy structural things that can happen. And I want to make sure that it doesn't destroy any data before I implement it. Like, before I release it to the public, it's got to be absolutely rock solid. Because I implemented that in CS2, but there are certain circumstances where things can go terribly, terribly wrong.
I feel like AJ and I have experienced all of them.
Yeah. So let me do this again. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste this. There we go. So now we're pasting correctly. So
and it automatically makes the name unique?
Yep, it automatically will do that.
Yes.
So it's not gonna crap out on you because you pasted the wrong thing. See, like I'm pasting.
Oh, that's so much better.
Checking out another box.
Yeah. So and you could, I could paste a whole lot of stuff all at once as well, of course, here. So let's just go down here and Boom. Now I've... Ooh, wait a minute. It didn't add... Okay, I got to add that to my to-do list. That should have added 6 new rows right there, and it only added 1.
So when you're pasting from the bottom, if I'm getting this right, because this is not what happens in... Well, I think CS2 tries to do this and never does. So if you're like copying 10 rows and there's only 4 rows in there, it makes the other 6 automatically? Is that what you're suggesting?
It's supposed to do that, yes. And it's only adding 1. I don't know. I must have broken that along the way because it was adding 6 before. Now, the other thing you can do is just go up here to add many rows. And let's say I want to add 10 new rows, whatever. It'll just add those and then I can paste that into here, right? So...
Oh my goodness. This row 1, 2, 3, this again. Like this is the stuff that like I've been... Because it used to do the my_YHLYM, and that's fine, but like I just wanted them numbered 1 through whatever, and so it looks like that's happening. Is it maxing out at 10, or can you add more than that?
Oh no, you could add whatever you want. I think maybe I limited it to 100 or something. I don't remember exactly, but let's add 100 quick. There we go. So I just added 100 new rows.
A big part of my process is like open it up, add 9 rows, add 9 rows, add 9 rows, add 9 rows. And so like skipping this kind of stuff genuinely will save me so much time. You're very casual about, to me, what are to me pivotal new features.
Well, I don't know. I've just had so many hours with this so the last few months that everything is sort of mush to me at this moment. So anyway, but yes, I will try to be more casual about even more critical features as we go forward. So actually, let's talk about another headlining little feature here. Let me open up another tab of this. So I'm just going to come up here and take this same URL and paste it into another tab. So we've got this tab and this tab over here. Actually, let me pull this tab out like this, and then we will go over here and I'll go to this one so that you can actually see the same thing, right? So now if I come over here and I go, let's say, this is some new content.
I love Peter's giddy. Just
Boom.
Absolutely giddy.
Did you see how it updated over there? So
yeah. Amazing.
Everything is real time.
Genuinely giddy, like 100%. This is like, I feel like I cannot overstate how much I live in your software, JT. Like we are not evangelical because we like you. We don't like you at all, JT, but we love your software. And like, I live in this. So every like 1% that you can upgrade this makes my life 10% better. Like it's crazy what a difference it makes.
Well, thank you.
And especially
you don't have to like me, just like my stuff.
Yeah. And especially just how much we co-design together. Like there's a lot of times where it's like, Peter just does the CS, and that's, Peter's very good at CS, but I don't touch that because if we touch it at the same time, we can run into problems there. Now we don't have that issue. Now we can poke each other constantly and help each other while we're updating together.
And by the way, this is system.
A lot of like, refresh this now, AJ. Refresh this now. Okay, I've changed it. Refresh it.
This is system-wide, by the way. So let's go into, let's say, a style right here, and I'll go over here and get a style, poop, and I'm just going to drag this over here so that I can easily see both of them at the same time. And so I will open up, something here, and all right, let's get this over here. Okay, so everywhere in the system, if I were to change this to red, let's say, it automatically changes that too. So it's everywhere in the system. It's not just the spreadsheet. It's like if you're in the designer dragging something around. So let's go do that quick. And I'll come over here and I'll hit.
That's one of the things I'm most excited for is the dragging.
Okay. So I'm over here. We've both got a thing going. And let's say I want to drag something around. So I'm going to take this nameplate right here and I'm going to turn on drag mode. Right, so I've enabled drag mode. That's off by default. People always want me to turn on dragging by default, and the problem is it's very dangerous. So like right here, there's formulas in here.
Yeah, I'm very glad you did not do that. That would be hellish.
Yeah, so you don't want to accidentally overwrite your very complicated formulas that you've come up with. So anyway, I will drag this over here, and now you can see it dragged it over there as well automatically.
How does this relate to like data set and design? Like if I'm in the data set and AJ's in the design, is that real time as well?
Hell yeah, it is. Oops. Okay, let's see here. We're on here, so I'm gonna rename. Let's see, what do we got here? Down here. This is your first time through the gate. So you can see that down here, right? This is your first time through the gate. It's right here. This first time through the gate. I update it over here, and I hit that. Oop, there we go. And now it's updated over here too.
Oh, this is amazing. Oh, this is very, very wonderful. I'm a happy man.
Now I can have on one half of my monitor the data set, one half of my monitor another tab with the design one, and I can see in real time the adjustments that are being made there without even having to leave either one of those.
Yeah, this is real-time collaboration, even if it's collaboration with yourself, right? So I'm obviously collaborating with myself here. It's 2 windows on my own same computer, but if you're logged in with 2 different accounts and they both have collaboration privileges for that same game, obviously it works the exact same way. So you can collaborate with a friend or you can collaborate just with yourself, whatever works.
Incredible. So one of the features I use the most, and I don't see it here, so I assume it's still in there, is in the design format, hitting like edit this row.
That's still there.
Now? There we go. Okay, I live there.
I do too, because that way you can be editing that data and still cycling through it, right?
Yeah.
I do too.
I always want to have the last pair of hands on something because I care so much about like the line breaks and the like all the little microscopic finicky things. That's how I do a lot of my card. My final pass is always through there. I'm glad that's still there.
Can you pause for a second here? Can you pop that back open again? Because what
Sure.
it looked like was when you pop that open, that's now a separate like window, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, so that's the thing I did. CS3, everything is it's not a window. It's called a modal. So it's relegated to inside the screen of the browser, right? It's stuck in there, but you can move it around like it's a window within there. So all of the different here, I'll open up another one. So you can actually have multiples of these open and drag them around in Component.Studio 3 at the same time.
Look at Peter. It's like Christmas came early.
So yeah, you have that.
AJ and I have been buried in this project for weeks. So the little thing popped up being like, try CS3. And I was like, I literally don't have the mental space to click yes and have to learn anything. So when we're like, hey, come on and tell us, I was like, because this way I will learn it. And like, this is, yeah. I should have been doing this for the last month because this would have, again, literally saved me hours. Like, I
keep in mind we are still in beta, so like there's probably going to be bugs here and there. So maybe not have saved time depending on how things are going. But we're getting really close to the end of the betas. We've been the bugs are not coming in very fast. The bug reports are not coming in very fast anymore. Like it was where I was putting out a new release daily essentially and fixing 50 bugs, and now it's like. This week I've gotten 4, I think. So like total for the whole week so far. So
JT, if I'm understanding correctly, CS3 is primarily UI. Like there's very little actual like new template, new like, I don't know what you call it, the coding language. Like that's not the focus of this version. It's just about the usability, right? Like, or is there more in that area as well?
There is some more programmatic stuff that you can do in CS3, but most of it, almost entirely, is about usability. It's all about streamlining everything.
It's funny. You want to show us exciting new things, and I'm like, wait, can you drag layers? Like that's huge to me. I think AJ called that out too.
No, that is. I mean, well, you could drag layers in CS2 as well. It just wasn't very easy or wasn't very good. Let's say.
Right.
But you can do that in CS3. And actually, dragability isn't just about dragging, right here, we're dragging this bar up here. But it's not just about doing, that. You can drag...
I mean here, you can drag, like, on the right-hand side, you can drag those things around.
These. Oh, yeah. If you want to reorganize your layers, yes.
I was like, I didn't know you could do that. I don't...
So, yeah, you can literally pick these up and you can see... Do you see where it's like showing you where you can drop it in? And it's not just within the layers, so you could drag them between groups as well. And you can also drag the layer groups. So if I wanted to put this one up here... I could do
that's
that.
A new feature, right?
That's absolutely a new feature. Yeah,
right,
there was no
that's
drag.
What I was talking about. When you were like, you could do it, it was difficult. I was like, I don't want to correct JT, but I don't think you can.
No. Sorry, yeah. Well, I thought you were talking about this drag and drop, not this drag.
You're on headlines. I'm like, wait, there's a new font. That's amazing. Like this kind of little stuff is so huge to me.
There's even been multiple little things that I noticed haven't been popping up. For instance, when you click and drag elements in CS2, when you first start to move it, it like teleports away from your mouse, and you're like, wait, and you have to like wrangle it back into the frame.
Yes. I worked hard to make that not happen in CS3. that was like a week's worth of work right there just to make that not do that.
It was absolutely
JT
worth
has
it.
not told us ahead of time what the features are, so I might be putting him on the spot. Something is implemented. JT, can we move to hard mode? Can you rotate something and then drag it? Because that's where it really like would fight me.
But you could actually drag to rotate something as well. So now I don't know what's going to happen here because there's like a whole bunch of different elements right here. But I'm going to rotate just this nameplate, and I don't know how that's going to affect all the things that are attached to that nameplate. But let's just try it because who knows. So I'm just going to demonstrate. So I have drag and drop moved on to position this element. You can see the drag right there. But I can also go down to the rotation area and enable drag to rotate. And so I can literally drag to rotate the thing.
That's right? So nice.
And so it didn't quite do all the things that you would expect because, again, these other... There's like layer on top of layer. Like there's this background layer, and then there's this layer that adds the marbling effect, and then there's all these other layers in here. So those pieces didn't move, but the actual background there did move.
JT, I don't know how many goats you had to sacrifice to make this happen, but like it was worth it. Like there is no number of goats who should live to not make this happen.
You can also drag to resize. So if you like,
good.
You can.
Okay, that saved me hours.
You can do that sort of stuff. And so you can see I'm actually using all three of the drag and drop features at the same time.
I did. Don't worry about that.
So yeah, you can absolutely do all of those elements.
I'm glad you said that.
Now keep in mind, anytime you're using drag and drop, it's updating these values here. So like if there was a formula in here, that formula is going to get just overwritten by the integer of whatever the thing 100%. Is that you dragged. But especially when you're initially positioning stuff, drag and drop is absolutely just the easiest way to get there.
Yeah, 100%.
So I feel like there's two very different kinds of users on CS2. I feel like there's the people like you and Peter who are putting in formulas where it's like, this one renders the next group based off of its position and those sorts of things. And there's people like me who are very lazy and I just want all the drag and drop features, and I'm never putting in like the exact position using pixels, those sorts of things.
I'm going to change your mind on that. And here's why. I am working on a whole lot of things here where you can use all these fancy programmer features without actually knowing any of them.
Hooray!
So for example, let's say I just want this box that we just resized here. I want it to center it. So I can just say center full design, boom. So it just moved it to the center of this full design. You can see that it plugged in formulas for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I use that a lot. I think my construction's on lunch, so I'm back, guys. I know you missed me not talking at all for the podcast so far, but now I can talk again.
Actually, I'm going to make a new layer to demonstrate this because I think it'll be easier to understand. So I'm going to make a box, and I'm going to size this box to be, let's say, 300 by 300. Right? And then I will drag and drop because that's what you would do. Actually, I should have resized that thing using... sorry, I should have... here, I'm going to resize it using drag and drop. There. Now, this is what you would have done, AJ.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so then I'm also going to position it with drag and drop. So I just did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to turn those off. And then I'm going to rotate this thing with drag and drop, just like you said. Boom, like that, right? So we're all on the same page. Everything was drag and drop at this point, right? Now, let's say I wanted to add text to this box.
Okay.
I can go up here, add text to box. Boom. It just created a text layer.
Wow.
Oh, that's so good.
All right.
So
and
good.
it's using formulas. So it's saying center it on the box.
Oh, it's not just
And
recreating
it's saying,
it's actually... Oh,
right.
that's
It's
so
saying
good.
use the layer width and height of that box minus 20 so that we have a little bit of a, inset there. And so you could actually come in here and say, oh, 20 is not good enough. I'm going to change this to 40 now because I want that. But you didn't have to write that formula. It wrote the formula for you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think you are going to start getting into these formulas now, not because you're going to write them, but you're going to use some of the fancier features that will, automatically do it for you, essentially.
So I saw that you had the add text box feature to this as a box element. Do you have that same feature for, say, like an image that you put in?
Sure, why not? So let's go. I'm going to add an image. I'm going to pick an image out of here.
Look at this. Oh, sorry. Again, like all these little UI things that you're like, I'm just going to pick an image. I'm like, this is 100 times better than it was.
Okay, so I've added this little shield up here, right? That little cool little shield. And then we're going to, again, use drag and drop. We're just going to position that shield over here where it's easier to see. So we're just going to put that right there.
And then we want a number on it. I want a number in the middle of that shield.
I want to put a number on that. So I'm going to click the add text box right here. And so now it's added some text. Now that text is too much, but I'm just going to say I want that to be a number 9. And now it's there. Now I'll have to make some formatting changes so that it's centered on that box. But now it's there. And of course, we're going to have to put a style in there to make it so that it can be white. Boom. There we go.
So AJ and I have just spent the last, God, AJ, what are we up to? Like 25 hours, not literally the last 25 hours, but we've spent 25 hours the last few weeks making briefs for graphic designers. And I just end up opening up Photoshop and sharing my screen. And I genuinely think we would have just done it in here. Because once we've made the brief, we could then also be like, hey, let's just use this for our prototype.
Yeah.
And that way, like, it would have, Again, I should have opened this up a month ago. This is what I was doing in Photoshop. And then at the end of it, I have a template. But now that template, we could just be in Component.Studio. And I don't say this lightly, AJ could have done
it. Well, seriously though, like you're making a joke, but I am dead serious about AJ being able to do all of this stuff. This is what CS3 is about.
This is amazing.
I built all these power features in the last 2 versions of CS2 and CS1, and people generally, other than people like Peter, a lot of people didn't use them. They would use the other features of CS2 and CS1, but CS3, I'm trying to take that power and literally put it in the hands of everyone by having the system be able to write these little functions. So,
JT, I just realized what we're looking at right now has a joke from my Facebook from 4 years ago. I don't know if that's deliberate or if you arrived at it independently.
The animal adjective thing?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's yeah. That is a joke from you, and that's not. Yeah. I didn't do that for this podcast. It's literally in the starter template. I did that in a bunch of different starter templates.
I made a Facebook post years ago about how the most generic publisher name is Animal Adjective Games, and it went a little bit viral. And someone made a generator of make your own Animal Adjective Games. So it's just very funny to see my Facebook post from half a decade ago in your template.
I thought it was hilarious, so I'm just copying it everywhere. So
I love it.
Anyway.
Okay, I've got. Firstly, are there any other headline stuff that you want to definitely hit? Because otherwise, I'm going to go through my wish list, and you can tell me what is or isn't in here.
I mean, we could spend hours, so we should probably. People are going to be bored.
Headlines, JT, not newspapers.
Headlines. No, I'm saying literally, we could spend hours on headlines.
Wow.
No, honestly, the 3 biggest things to hit in the headlines are simply, I focused entirely on speed and ease of use. What is going on up here? I don't know what that is. So anyway, sorry. I focused entirely on speed and ease of use and just getting you going in the software. So the starters and stuff like that. So, and there's also for that bit of thing, there's also a full image gallery in here of things that you can just use that are built in, and you can filter based on artists and sets and all kinds of stuff like that. So actually, that's what I mean. It's getting you started, ease of use, and speed.
Yeah. This is not one of my requests, but can I have a default set of things of images that are in all my projects? Because that's one of the things. Or I guess that would be the template. I would build out a template and then just copy that template for each new project.
That's right. Yep.
Because there's certain fonts, images, font sizes that I just the first thing I do, and it's become almost like a little ritual, is I open a thing and I quickly make those 6 things, and now I can just make the template and just have it all there.
That's right.
Okay, so one for me, and I know this is because of the Game Crafter origins, this has never been a high priority for you. Custom size templates. Is that a thing? Is that on the horizon? Where are we at with that?
It is actually on the horizon. It's not something that's in here now, but it will be. I will show you a secret thing. So like there's all kinds of menus you might have seen in here that you won't be able to see, but I'm going to see them here. So there is a list of components that are built into here, obviously from Component.Studio.
Right.
But you can see that there's a source here that says TGC. So you could actually create new components that aren't from TGC, like if you had admin access. I'm going to expose that though for regular users eventually. But from the ground up, there is a built-in thing to do that.
I'll tell you why, and you'll understand my pain. The size that you have for Mini Euros is like 3 millimeters taller than my Mini Euros sleeves. So every time I I print a thing, I then have to recut them and it's just like, it's a whole thing. I just want a little tinier Mini Euro. AJ,
hey man,
you do
whatever
one,
you need it
lost my
for.
next one? Yeah. AJ, what do you got? Because I've lost my second one.
So going back to those, you called them modals, the Windows within Windows type of things. Do you have one of those for easy text editing? I would love to have one where I can just pop one up and like have, instead of having to remind myself of all like the codes of like bolding, italics, those sorts of things, if I could just pop it open and then like double click or use
the drag and drop equivalent of bold, italics, etc.
Yeah.
I do not have one of those. That's called a rich text editor. That's the nomenclature.
Or even within, like, when I open up anything to edit it, like if you go to anything that has a text field,
what that will be is if I get around to building it, it will go here, basically. Right. So it won't be here, but you'll click into the sidebar. You know, the three dots menu is where all the power is in Component.Studio. So it brings it up over here. And if I get around to building that, which, you know, probably I will at some point, there will be a rich text editor here where you'll be like, hey, I can highlight this word, and then I'll just select I want it to be bold or whatever the thing is. You know, I'll apply style X.
I think the BGG forums do it where you can select the text and hit the bold button, and it adds the tags in for you, so you don't have to learn the tags. Okay, this is absolutely a power user request. I would love to have like favorited designs, because I'm in the dozens, if not hundreds, of designs, and there's like 4 that I use every day, and I could just name them underscore whatever. But it would be nice to just be like, here's all my designs, or here's the ones that I just am currently working on.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking.
Go to your list of games.
You know how
my list of games, right?
Okay. Yes. So for you, this is 6 games. For me, this is 250 games.
Oh, this isn't for that. Yeah, I have thousands of games.
But like for the thing that we can see, it's like a few games.
Yeah.
I want to have
That's what collections are for.
Hit. Oh, I don't know about collections.
You don't know about so this exists in Component.Studio 2 as well. So what you do is you'll go into any given game. Let's say I'll just open up this Wisconsin Death Trip one, and I go into the settings of that game, and there's a collection. So I'm going to say this is cool stuff or whatever, right? So these are my cool games. And so now that I've got that collection in there, when I'm out here, I can say, I want to select cool. Now I only have the cool games.
Cool. So this is a thing that exists. I just didn't know about it. We talked about you coming on the podcast or me coming on your podcast a while back just for exactly this, just to be like, I want this, and you being like, well, you can. Here's how you do it.
Yeah. But the big improvement I see from 2 to 3, because this is a feature I actually knew about and used, but you'd have to toggle it. So you'd click the drop-down menu, and then you would click, do you want to see the archive ones or whatever? And here I see that the hide archive was already toggled by default. I assume that stays between sessions. So I just have to press it once. Like by default, it's hiding archived ones.
By default, it's always hiding archived. It does not save it between, like if I was to refresh the page, this would go away. So if I show archived and I refresh, it's still hidden again.
Okay, well that's fine, because by default it's doing the thing I want it to do. It's hiding the ones that I don't need.
Yeah,
that's great.
I could make 100%. It a user preference if that was something important, but I also felt like by default you want them hidden.
Or even just memory. If you've toggled it on, then leave it toggled on or whatever. Okay, AJ, what do you got?
Changing, I think this is something you already fixed when you were in the spreadsheet, but when you change text in Component.Studio 2, sometimes it will like desync like the row lines a bit, and you have to like scroll wheel to fix it. I didn't notice that in this one, so I'm assuming that's something that you fixed. And by the look on your face, I'm guessing you fixed it so long ago, you're like, oh, was that a thing?
I know the thing you're talking about. I actually don't know what caused that thing. So if it is fixed, it is fixed because I. So here, let me back up here. So this, when we're in here, when we're looking at this thing that looks like a spreadsheet, I customized this, but I did not write this. This is a third-party library that makes this spreadsheet, because this is literally 10,000 hours worth of work to make a spreadsheet work.
For sure.
So I've paid a company for this spreadsheet looking thing here, and then I just customize it for the use of Component.Studio. So that feature, or that bug in this particular case, where it was getting out of sync, was is a problem with the core software. I am now using a newer version of that software, obviously. So, maybe
they fixed it.
Maybe they fixed it, but I didn't do anything about it because there was
JT,
nothing I could have done.
We don't know that. You could take full credit for the fix.
I wish. Well, I guess I could take credit. I don't. I don't take credit for other people's work. Like, so.
Okay, I think this is something that is going to be a lower priority for you. But from where you are right now, I would love a button that takes, or like a drop-down menu that takes me to the designs that use this spreadsheet.
Boom! Right there, just happened.
So this is, and if there's like four different designs using
it'll pull down a list.
Yes. Again, hours and hours. AJ, what you got?
So I would love if I went to CS3 and this is my one-stop shop for all my prototyping needs. So to that end, right now, if I want to do, for example, dice on Tabletop Simulator, I have a separate template and a different program that I use for it. And I could like import that template into Component.Studio, but that's going to be the wrong size. And I guess you said that I could customize the size of it, blah, blah, blah. I would love if the template for TTS was just somewhere as one of the components I could create, and I can just drag and drop the icons that I want into those positions.
So this is a very TTS specific thing that GT might not know. When you import dice into TTS, it has an existing like weird template. So the ideal case would be, because you can have dice as a component in this, is when that die exports as TTS, it goes into the weird, stupid TTS TTS format. I think that would just be
so it's just a different image. Like, you know how cards, really you have that grid that you have to create, so there's a different image like that. Okay, I think I've seen. I'm pretty sure there's an idea that somebody submitted for that specific thing. It could be, but I haven't been working a lot on these ideas because I've been working on CS3 trying to just get it to where it goes. But
there we go. There it is. Number 9. That's me.
Number 9. Okay. It isn't you.
No, it's not.
Look.
It's not me. Someone else had it.
Hey,
Nick.
But clearly a bunch of people are interested in that.
Yeah.
100%. But anyway, so yes, I'm certain I will work on that. Once CS3 is out. No, it's clear that
all
bunch
the
of people are
changes
interested.
you've made are much better than that. But we're just going to be using this chance to be like, hey, JT, can you do this one specific thing?
Dude, it's good to hear these things, honestly. Like, again, I'm not a Tabletop Simulator user, so I don't know what's important.
I've got one. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I've got one that I want to assume you've implemented, and I don't actually know that you have. When you import an image, it used to be that you had to manually turn it into be iconable. Is that still the case, or is it now just automatically able to be used as an icon?
It's automatically able to be used as an icon when you upload. So let's go to images here. So there's no switch to turn it on or off in here anymore. Okay. Right?
Yeah,
so you used to have to do that.
A speed thing.
It was a performance thing for CS2, but I didn't need it here because I've fixed a bunch of fundamental things.
Amazing.
You can also crop and rotate and resize, so you can do a whole lot of imagery stuff in here without having to leave Component.Studio at this point. Like if you uploaded the wrong size or whatever.
Yes.
Right. So like let's go into something.
I didn't
bigger,
even
like
think this would be possible. So this is this is amazing.
I can crop, so I can literally. Wait a minute. Why is this not working? There it goes. There. Okay, that's weird. That's showing up in the wrong place. So I got to fix that. But anyway, you can highlight and crop. You're supposed to be able to, but it's showing up in the wrong place. I built this really early, and I haven't looked at it since, so I've obviously broken it along the way. But anyway, you're going to be able to drag and drop and kind of like, here, I want this part of the image, crop. And it doesn't destroy this original image. It will actually make a copy that is the cropped version. So that way you never have to worry about like, oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. Same thing with like if I want to rotate this thing. So I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to hit rotate. And so it will create a rotated version, and that rotated version would be a copy.
Hours and hours and hours of my life. I don't know if you listen to the podcast, JT. I'm sort of stepping away from board games. I got into Component.Studio because my friend, whose name I can't remember, John Schulter, was like, Peter, Component.Studio is so good, it will make you, like, he had taken like 3 years off designing games, and Component.Studio was so impactful to him that it got him back into designing games, and now I'm terrified that it'll be the same here. Like, I'm trying to step away, and I'm just like, well, now I could do, like, the 70 hours I spent on one game in Component.Studio, that would have been 50 hours. I just saved 20 hours. Right. And so I think this is great. Okay, I got 2 more. Do you have any more, AJ?
I do. Is there a way to turn off the notification email after a print is done?
After an
export is done.
Yeah.
Oh, it no longer emails you at all after an export is done.
So, yes.
Once again, I cannot tell you how many... It's just so ridiculous how many hours I have to spend just clicking archive each email, because that's how much I use this thing.
Yep. You won't get that anymore. So sorry. I mean, not sorry, but
the construction has started under my feet. So I'm going to quickly say, in the design area, if you have something fit to like a bounding box, it used to be, and it might still be, like it's either fit to width or fit to height or stretch, and I want it to like fit to within like that area without going above it. Is that a thing, or is that possibly going to be a thing?
That is a thing already, yeah. So yeah, let's say we design let's just add an image here. So I'm going to add an image, and I'm going to design that image to be, let's see, I'm going to type it in. Sorry. So I'm going to design that image to be 300 by 300, and oh wait, I just positioned it 300 by 300. That's not what I meant to do. Size 300 by 300. Okay, so you can see this image here, and maybe I should hide this crap behind it so that we can see this more easily. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and let's get rid of these as well. Okay, so now you can see just that image. I'm going to turn on the bounds so you can see. Okay, we've got a space where we can put an image, right? So now let's pick an image that doesn't fit into that space. So this image right now is actually a diamond. It doesn't look like it because it's stretching to fill, but I can say I want to contain that image. So now it's keeping the original aspect ratio in the area that I've designed, and it's centering it middle center. But if I wanted, I could say put it over on the left, or
I swear we did not set this up to give JT a slam dunk. Like, this is just something that I have wanted, and I'm so excited it's there. Yeah, I have a note that I don't understand. It says, how long... Oh, yes, I know what I'm talking about. When you export, so increasingly nowadays, I just use the link that they send me to put it into TTS. And by default, it like lasts for 1 day, and you can manually change it. Like, I think we just always go for a year, because if I'm still using the same prototype in a year, something weird has happened. Is that automatically set to a day still? Is that a thing that we can change? Again, these are really finicky power user notes, but like...
So you're talking about when you export to a tabletop simulator thing? So let's just do one quick here. I'm just gonna export the one thing. We'll turn on tabletop simulator and we'll export it. So that's creating this little Juby here. Oop, I closed it. I didn't mean to close it. It's fine. We can get out here. It showed a link. If I go over here to caches, it created a cache. Here are the files that it created. So I can just copy the URL, or I can view the thing. And there's the image that's in it.
And how long does that stay around?
That's what I was just about to say.
Yes,
it is permanent. Permanent.
What?
Permanent. Never goes away.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to show this, is because there's the stats. You don't see an expiration date at all anymore. It is permanent.
Hours and hours.
So good.
You keep trying to get out, but they keep pulling you back in.
JT, I cannot express how much of a difference your product has made in my life and AJ's life, and hopefully the life of many, many listeners. Okay, I'm going to go back on mute because the construction has started. AJ, do you want to ask your last ones, and then we'll wish JT a lovely day?
Yep. Do you have an export all feature for a game? where it's like you've got 3 different types of cards for it, and a board or something like that. Do you have a way to export all of those at the same time, or do you still have to do each individual card design as an individual export?
You have to do each one individually, and it's because the renderer needs to be loaded. So I'd have to have multiple renderers loaded, and that would be too much for most people's computers. And so maybe I could script it in some way so it could do one after the other or something like that at some point. But I certainly wouldn't do them in parallel because it would just crash your computer. So
yeah, a one after the other one would be nice if they were like in a design, and when you export, there's just like a thing that's export the other ones as well. Or if you're
especially at the new speed,
right?
Yeah. It's not a top priority kind of thing because it's going to be a really hard thing to do, and it's honestly not as cool as you would think it would be because you're probably going to want different settings on the different exports. What gets exported and whatever, and that's going to get really complicated really fast. Is what I'm getting at. It's not going down the path of speed or easy. And yet,
JT, when you loaded up the requests tab, it was by far the most voted request.
There's what people want, and then there's what actually they want, right? Like people think they want a thing until they see what the result of it would be. If I built it, you would not be happy with it currently. I don't have a way to make it good. So unless I can make it good, I'm not going to do it. That's the answer. I understand what you want, and if I can make it good, I will build it. I don't have a problem with that. But until I can make it good, I'm not going to make a half-assed version.
I hear you. Is there a way to do default settings? For example, I always change my icon scaling up from, I think it's base 100 or whatever, to like 200 in my text. Is there a way to adjust that?
That's where you would use a clone, right? You would set you'd make your default template because you're like, I always want my icons to be this size, whatever. You'd just change that into your in your clones.
Just to be clear, JT, add a new layer right now, a text layer, because I think what you're thinking is slightly different to what AJ's asking.
Oh, I see what you're saying now that you mentioned that. So you're saying here, I just added a new text layer, and I want this new text layer to have that sort of whatever. No, there is no way to set the default. That is a hard-coded value back way down deep in the software.
But icon scaling is now an inherited thing. That is not the case in CS2.
Correct. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
That does it for you. That's the thing you want.
Yeah.
Cool.
All of these things are inherited by default, the overrides that are here, and they all come in from styles. So.
But icon scale wasn't an inheritable thing. It used to be per text layer in CS2.
Right. Yes. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying now they're all inheritable. Yeah.
So nice. AJ, you've actually said yes to AJ without realizing you're saying yes to AJ. You said yes, and I was like, actually, JT, it's no. And then I'm like, oh, actually, JT, it was yes all along.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Fantastic. I forget, were you able to do boards in Component.Studio too? It's been so long since I tried. Yes. I don't know if that's the case. Okay.
You can actually.
I'm trying to remember why it didn't.
So you can actually, you can search all of the existing components. If I just wanted to type in board here, I can say, now I want this to be a small square board instead. So now instead of this, and this is something you couldn't do in Component.Studio 2 either. You just saw me change the component type while I'm still in the editor.
Right.
So
that was
anyway,
wild.
So there. But anyway, yeah, you can absolutely change it. And the other thing is that while you're changing it, it's going to remember the ones you've used recently, and you can even favorite them as you're going through. So like poker deck is a favorite, so it's always going to just show up there. So like you don't have to go through and scroll through the list of 200 of them or search through the list of 200. If there's something you're using over and over again, you just select it. So
amazing. I feel like there's a lot more things for me to dig into, but those were all the things that were top of my list, or the things I was the most curious about. So thanks very much, JT. Peter, you've got any closing thoughts here?
Well, I was going to say we normally end our episodes with a get published tip. I'm sorry if you can hear that construction. And JT is a published designer. JT, you've got at least one game out. I don't know how many. Am I mistaken? You're looking at me as if I've forgotten.
No. I have a few different games with publishers, but it's been a while since I've published a game. I'm fairly famous for not finishing designs because I actually don't like any step of the publishing process. Like, publishers are great at that sort of thing, but I don't actually even like pitching to publishers. So like I don't like any of it. And so I generally don't pitch. I design because I like solving the puzzle of designing the game, and then I just quit when I've solved the puzzle.
That's our get published tip for the episode.
Yeah. But honestly, like I guess to give a real tip, a lot of it is just being willing to put yourself out there. You got to, like, how I got published for the different kinds of things that I did was literally reaching out to people and being willing to like have them say no to me over and over and over again. And I was okay with that. Like, I don't actually care about people saying no to me. It's really just like, I don't really want to prep a tabletop simulator version, for example. Like most publishers require that at this point. I don't use tabletop simulator. I don't care to, even though I have a tool that could totally make it easy for me. Mm-hmm. So I don't do that sort of stuff. But if you're willing to put in the effort and put yourself out there and be willing to hear no 100 times, you should do it, because that's what it really comes down to, is numbers, right? Go out, be willing to have them say no to you. And that's how you achieve success in basically anything in life, is being willing to put yourself out there, to take
100%.
criticism.
JT, I'll tell you the number one feature that the Component.Studio competitor has that I don't think you have any interest in implementing is a button that updates the URL that is currently used by TTS.
Updates the URL?
Okay, so TTS points to a URL for like every deck of cards has a URL.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it is, but people recommend it in the Discord all the time. It is the one feature that I've been like, ooh, if anything could possibly tear me away from Component.Studio, it would be that. And so you can, instead of just exporting a new URL, it updates the URL that you're currently using. So next time you load the mod, the cards are immediately updated.
It already does that. CS3 does that.
What?
Yeah.
This is the headline feature.
Okay. Again, not a tabletop simulator user, so I don't know these things.
Talk us through this. I need to understand.
But yes, literally. So after we've exported, right, we're going to a URL now. This is the URL that generated, which is just a random, big long, ugly thing. But this URL will get used the next time you export, and the next time you export, and the next time you export as well. So it'll continue to reuse that same URL, because I heard from users that was important.
So glad I mentioned this. AJ, I've been saying hours.
No, this is good.
In our co-design, this is AJ's job. After every meeting, he sits down for literally like an hour and does this. And you've just saved him an hour after every meeting. And this project that has taken over our lives, we meet about every 45 seconds. So like, you have just saved days of AJ's life.
I don't want to upset AJ, but I want to tell him that CS2 did this as well.
What? What do you
so
mean?
You CS by default, it at the top of CS2 when you export. Let me go into a
maybe
we're
talking about different things, because
I don't think we
CS2...
are. I don't think we are. Let me go into a game here, and I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. Oh crap! It's going to take a minute. Okay, here we go. Export. And we're going to do a tabletop simulator export, but the important bit is up here, archive. By default, it's going to create a new archive every time, but you could have selected an existing archive and it would reuse the URLs.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, CS2 actually does this already, but it doesn't do it by default, whereas CS3 does it by default. I'm very sorry that you didn't know that, AJ.
Thanks for joining us.
So we are talking about the same thing, right?
We are talking about the same thing. We just had no idea this existed. Days and days and days of our lives.
Yeah.
You did the right thing. You built it in. We just had no idea that this existed.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah, it's been in there since I don't know how long, years at this point. So sorry you didn't know that was there, but at least CS3 does it the right way from the start, right?
CS3 means you don't need to know it's there to use it.
Well,
that's right.
That's what you said, right? Is all the features that were always there are now front and center. Like, and there was the feature that Peter didn't know existed. They'd be able to archive
the collections.
games, and I was using
Well,
that.
not the archiving, the collections specifically.
The collections, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JT, thank you so much for coming on. This has been an absolute hoot. I'm going to
it's been
thank
a
you
roller
again for making
coaster.
Component.Studio. Like, I can't imagine that this is like a big money maker for you. It's a labor of love, and it
is.
makes my life so much better. I am very appreciative. And everyone who hasn't checked out Component.Studio, hopefully for your sake and for theirs, this will convince people to go check it out.
Yeah, and like I said at the beginning of the podcast, fun problems, all one word, uppercase the first letter of each word. That is a 50% off for 3 months on Component.Studio. If you wanna sign up, fun problems, use it.
Amazing. I think we're going to release this episode out of order because I want this out to people now.
Yes.
I think this is going to go up tomorrow because we have like 3 episodes in the queue, but I want no one else to go through what AJ's gone through.
Understood.
This is like an emergency PSA that we need to blast.
I guess we should have done this for CS2 as well. I'm sorry we didn't.
Thanks
All
so much,
good.
JT.
right.
Thanks for coming on, and we'll talk to everyone next time.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. You can find us and our incredible Discord community in the show notes, or reach out to us privately at funproblemspodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the podcast, please tell a friend.